Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is the place where we bring you the most unforgettable moments from the world's biggest talent shows, the performances that make us laugh, cry, and sometimes leave us completely speechless. If you love incredible talent, surprising auditions, and stories that prove you do not always need words to be heard, then you are in the right place. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that can change your mood and your day in just a few minutes. Today we are talking about one of the most unique and hilarious auditions ever seen on Britain's Got Talent. An audition where the performer does not say a single word, yet manages to control the entire theater, the judges, and the audience with pure physical comedy, facial expressions, and perfect timing. This is the story of a man who proves that silence can sometimes be louder than the biggest punchline, and laughter does not always come from jokes, but from moments you never see coming. Britain's Got Talent has always been known as a stage where anything can happen. From powerful singers to jaw-dropping magicians, daring dancers, and emotional stories that touch the heart, the show has given the world countless viral moments. But every once in a while, an act comes along that feels completely different from everything else. An act that reminds us why live performance is such a powerful form of art. This audition is one of those moments. The stage lights come up, the music fades, and a man walks out onto the Britain's Got Talent stage. Right away, something feels unusual. He does not introduce himself with a big smile or an emotional backstory. He does not wave to the audience or speak into the microphone. Instead, he stands there quietly, letting the silence stretch just a little longer than expected. You can feel the judges leaning forward, trying to figure out what kind of act this could possibly be. Simon Cowell, known around the world for his brutally honest opinions and sharp sense of humor, watches closely. Simon has seen thousands of auditions over the years. He has heard every type of singer, watched every style of dancer, and witnessed some of the strangest acts imaginable. It takes a lot to surprise him anymore. He is not easily impressed, and silence on a talent show stage is usually a risky move. But something about this performer already has Simon's attention. The contestant still does not speak. Instead, he begins to move. At first, the movements are small and almost awkward. A step here, a pause there. His facial expressions start to change, exaggerating simple emotions into something almost cartoon-like. The audience begins to chuckle softly, unsure if they should laugh yet or wait to see where this is going. The performer seems to sense every reaction in the room, adjusting his timing perfectly. This is where the magic begins. Without saying a single word, he starts telling a story. Not with props, not with music, but with his body. Every gesture is intentional. Every look is carefully crafted. He plays with expectations, setting up moments that feel predictable, only to flip them upside down at the last second. Laughter starts to grow louder, spreading through the audience like a wave. What makes this performance so special is not just that it is funny. It is that the humor feels universal. You do not need to speak a certain language to understand it. You do not need cultural references or complicated jokes. It is pure visual comedy, the kind that connects directly with human emotion. This is the kind of comedy that makes children laugh just as hard as adults, and that is incredibly rare. Simon Cowell begins to smile, something that does not happen often during auditions like this. He can see the intelligence behind the act. This is not random movement or accidental humor. This is carefully structured comedy, built on timing, rhythm, and an understanding of how an audience thinks. Simon has worked with some of the biggest entertainers in the world, and he knows talent when he sees it. The performer continues, slowly building the act. He pretends to interact with invisible objects, reacting to things that are not there, yet feel completely real because of how convincingly he performs them. At one point, he freezes, staring into the audience with a look that says everything without saying anything at all. The pause is perfect. The crowd erupts into laughter before he even moves again. This kind of silence is powerful. In a world filled with noise, loud music, constant talking, and endless distractions, this performer uses quiet to pull everyone in. The theater becomes completely focused on him. You could hear a pin drop between laughs. That level of control over an audience is something even experienced comedians struggle to achieve. The judges are now fully engaged. Amanda Holden laughs openly, clapping along with the audience. Alicia Dixon tries to keep a straight face but fails, covering her mouth as she laughs. Even David Walliams, known for his love of comedy, looks genuinely impressed. They are all watching something special unfold right in front of them. Simon Cowell's journey to this moment is worth talking about as well. Simon is not just a judge who gives opinions. He is one of the most influential figures in modern entertainment. From discovering global music stars to creating some of the biggest talent shows in the world, Simon has built a career on understanding what audiences love. He knows that true talent is not always about technical perfection. Sometimes, it is about connection. That is exactly what this silent performer achieves. He connects with everyone in the room without speaking a word. Simon recognizes that instantly. You can see it in his expression. He is not just entertained. He is impressed on a professional level. He knows that acts like this can travel anywhere in the world and still work, because laughter does not need translation. As the performance reaches its peak, the laughter becomes almost constant. The performer escalates the situation, stacking one funny moment on top of another, yet never losing control. There is no chaos, no confusion. Everything feels intentional and clean. The ending comes suddenly, catching everyone off guard in the best way possible. The moment the act finishes, the audience jumps to their feet. A standing ovation fills the theater. The applause is loud, long, and full of appreciation. This is not polite clapping. This is genuine excitement. People know they have just witnessed something memorable. The judges begin to give their feedback. Simon Cowell speaks first, and when Simon speaks after an act like this, people listen carefully. He talks about how refreshing it is to see something so simple yet so effective. He praises the performer for understanding comedy at a deep level and for having the confidence to trust silence on a massive stage. Simon explains that making people laugh without words is one of the hardest things to do in entertainment. He also points out that this kind of act shows bravery. Walking onto a stage like Britain's Got Talent and choosing not to speak is a huge risk. If it fails instantly. But when it works in a way that people never forget. Simon respects that risk, and you can tell he admires the performer for taking it. The other judges echo similar feelings. They talk about how the act made them feel happy, how it reminded them of classic comedy legends, and how it proves that talent comes in many forms. They emphasize that humor does not need to be loud or crude to be effective. Sometimes, the quietest moments are the funniest. When it comes time to vote, the result feels obvious. Yes votes light up across the panel. The performer moves on to the next round, still without saying a word, but with a smile that says everything. The audience cheers once again, fully behind him. This audition goes on to become one of the most shared and talked about moments from the season. Clips of the performance spread across social media, reaching millions of viewers around the world. People from different countries, cultures, and backgrounds all react the same way. They laugh. They smile. They share it with friends and family. What makes this story so inspiring is the reminder that there is no single path to success in entertainment. You do not have to fit into a specific category. You do not have to follow trends or copy what others are doing. This performer trusted his own style, his own instincts, and his own understanding of comedy. That authenticity is what made the act stand out. Simon Cowell has often said that the best acts are the ones you remember long after the show ends. Not because they were the loudest or the most dramatic, but because they made you feel something real. This silent comedian did exactly that. He made people laugh in a pure and honest way. In a world where so many people are trying to be heard, this performer showed the power of not speaking at all. He proved that talent is not about how much noise you make, but about how deeply you connect. That is a lesson not just for performers, but for anyone chasing a dream. As the lights fade and the show moves on, this audition stays in the minds of everyone who watched it. It becomes one of those moments people talk about years later, saying, "Do you remember that guy who never said a word but made everyone laugh?" Those are the moments that define great television and great talent. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more incredible auditions, unforgettable judges' reactions, and performances that break all the rules, make sure you stay with this channel. We bring you stories that inspire, entertain, and remind you why talent shows continue to capture hearts around the world. As the competition moves forward, the pressure increases for every contestant, and for someone who relies entirely on silence, the challenge becomes even greater. Expectations are now high. People are no longer just curious, they are waiting to see if he can do it again, if he can surprise them twice, if the magic of the first audition was real talent or just a lucky moment. Walking back onto the Britain's Got Talent stage for the next round, the atmosphere feels different. The audience already knows him. There is excitement in the air, mixed with curiosity and a little bit of doubt. Once again, he steps onto the stage without saying a single word. No introduction, no explanation. Just silence. But this time, the silence feels confident. It feels controlled. He stands there calmly, as if he knows something everyone else is about to discover. Simon Cowell watches closely, arms crossed, eyes focused. Simon understands how difficult it is to follow up a viral audition. Many acts struggle when the spotlight gets brighter. He is looking to see growth, not repetition. The performance begins slowly, almost deceptively simple. The comedian plays with the space on stage, reacting to imaginary situations that feel familiar to everyone watching. He exaggerates everyday frustrations, the kind people experience daily but never think of as comedy. The audience starts laughing again, recognizing themselves in his expressions and movements. This is not just physical comedy anymore, it is observational comedy told without words. What makes the second performance even stronger is how he listens to the audience. Every laugh, every pause, every breath from the crowd influences his timing. He allows moments to breathe. He does not rush. That patience shows experience and confidence. Simon Cowell leans forward now, clearly invested. He knows this is not an amateur act. This is someone who understands the craft deeply. As the act builds, the performer introduces new ideas, proving he is not relying on the same tricks. He takes bigger risks, stretching the silence longer, pushing the audience right to the edge before delivering the payoff. The laughter becomes louder, more explosive. People are wiping tears from their eyes, shaking their heads in disbelief that someone can be this funny without speaking. Simon Cowell begins to laugh openly, something that does not happen often. When Simon laughs like this, it is not forced or polite. It is genuine. He appreciates originality more than anything, and this act is originality at its purest. You can tell Simon is already thinking beyond the competition, imagining how this performer could work on bigger stages, international tours, and television shows around the world. The performance ends with another unexpected moment, a simple gesture that ties the whole act together perfectly. The silence returns for just a second, and then the theater explodes. A standing ovation fills the room once again. The audience knows they are watching something special grow even stronger. When the judges give their comments, the praise is even higher this time. Simon Cowell talks about how difficult it is to make people laugh consistently, and how even harder it is to do it without words. He says this act has depth, intelligence, and global appeal. Coming from Simon, those words mean everything. He is not just judging a performance, he is recognizing a future entertainer. As the competition continues, this silent comedian becomes one of the most talked about acts of the season. Fans wait eagerly for every appearance, wondering what he will do next. Social media fills with clips, reactions, and comments from people all over the world saying the same thing. This is comedy at its purest. The story of this performer is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful voice is silence. In a show filled with loud performances and dramatic moments, he stands out by doing the opposite. And that is exactly why he is unforgettable. If you enjoyed part 2 of this incredible journey, stay tuned to the channel for the next chapter. The competition is far from over, and the best moments are still to come.